WrestleMania 40 is just 2 short weeks away, and I cannot wait because when Triple H said, "Are you ready?" Yes. Before I dive into that, make sure you do hit the like button and subscribe. I am on the road to 10K subscribers on YouTube before WrestleMania 40, and if you haven't already, make sure you do follow my Instagram because I'm on the road to 50K followers on Instagram. We are really close to hitting 50K on Instagram, so if a couple of you head on over there, you guys will make that happen. First up, we got LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I am so hyped up for this match because we have 2 TNA legends going at it, and this doesn't seem like a step down for LA Knight. I do understand a lot of us wanted a title match for LA Knight, but when you have such a stacked roster, you have to fit in everybody, and I'm just grateful that LA Knight is on the Mania card, and who better to be going in a match with LA Knight at WrestleMania other than the TNA GOAT AJ Styles. LA Knight winning against AJ Styles at Mania will keep LA Knight in the main title scene or in the main event scene, and hopefully we could get LA Knight versus Logan Paul at some point where LA Knight does win the United States Championship. Next up, we have the Undisputed Tag Team Ladder Match. Now, for this one, we do have 6 tag teams. So for this one, we do have New Day versus DIY versus Awesome Truth versus the Judgment Day versus Street Profits and versus Grayson and Austin. There are 2 teams that I realistically do see winning, which is Awesome Truth and DIY. But when it comes to the tag team titles, when it comes to separating the tag team titles, this is the perfect match to do so, because you can have the Raw tag titles and you can have the Smackdown tag titles hanging, and you can have 2 winners. You can have maybe Awesome Truth or DIY from the Raw brand, and you can have the Street Profits from the Smackdown brand. We have been waiting for these tag team championship belts to be split, and this would be the most easiest way to do that. I don't see Judgment Day retaining at all. I think it has ran its course. Finn Balor is now considered Pin Balor because he just eats all the damn pins, and then El Señor Mr. Money in the Bank hasn't cashed in yet. So yeah, I definitely do think that they should be dropping the titles. It's between those 2, but if they do split it, then I do see Street Profits, DIY, or Awesome Truth going up for the titles at the same time, causes a double win for the tag team titles. Next up, we have Jay versus Jimmy. I need Rikishi to be involved in this somehow, whether it's a special guest referee, whether you have hooded Solo coming through the freaking crowd, and then you have Rikishi out of nowhere stopping Solo and be like, nah, let the 2 brothers fight amongst themselves. Do I think Jay and Jimmy are going to be the sleeper of the night? Do I think they're going to have a 5-star classic? I don't think so at all. But I think the emotions and storytelling during that match and the possibility of family interfering or family showing up, it's brother versus brother. It's more about the story than the actual match quality. The aftermath of this match, depending if it's going to be on the first or second night, I'm assuming it might be on the second night. Jay versus Jimmy just makes more sense to be on the second night. I don't think we're going to see the brothers reconcile because I feel like we'll get some more clarity on that after the main event. Cody versus Roman Reigns night 2, because we still have to see what happens there, because Jay is going to be in Cody's corner, so we still have to see what happens with all of that mess. I think leading up towards SummerSlam, we're going to get some more clarity of, do the brothers reconcile? Are they a tag team again, or are we going to have another match at SummerSlam? Next up, we have the Intercontinental Championship match, and this is between Sami Zayn and Gunther. Now, I was one of the people that was extremely upset that Chad Gable did not win this, and I may have sort of tweeted my anger on Twitter, but I posted one, maybe 2 tweets about it, and then I moved the fuck on. Do I still think that Gunther is the better choice? Yes, I also understand that they have to build up Sami after last year's WrestleMania. He wants his singles mania moments, and I understand that. And Sami, yes, he is a good alternative for this match, but I really thought that he was more so going to be going after the World Heavyweight Championship or the Undisputed title. I did not think that he was going to be essentially still in the mid-card title scene. Sami pinning Gunther does not seem as realistic as Chad Gable pinning Gunther. I don't see Sami Zayn winning this match. I see Gunther winning, and we have the draft coming up, so hopefully Braun Breaker and Gunther can be on the same brand, so we can start Gunther versus Braun Breaker, and they could take it all the way to Bash in Berlin, and then that's when Braun Breaker can take the title. Or if in the case where Sami Zayn does win the IC title, I think it will be okay, and I'm not going to be upset because I like Sami Zayn. I really do like him. I wasn't one of the people on Twitter who were basically turning against Sami. I was just more so talking about how Chad Gable is the right candidate for this, and Sami Zayn should be going after the World Heavyweight Championship or something more along the lines of Mr. Money in the Bank. If Sami Zayn does win the IC title, this may be good because this is long-term storytelling. We don't know where WrestleMania 41 will take place because Las Vegas has been rumored, but also now Minneapolis has been rumored. And whose hometown is that? That is Chad freaking Gable, man. So if Sami Zayn does win this IC title and he holds it all the way to next year's WrestleMania, Chad Gable can still have his Mania moment. But if Sami Zayn does lose, and let's say Gunther holds it all the way to freaking WrestleMania 41, we could have Gunther versus Chad Gable, and at his hometown he's going to have his freaking WrestleMania moment. And that is what I call beautiful storytelling, because a lot of the IWC did get behind Chad Gable, and we are still behind Chad Gable because for some reason we thought maybe they would make it a triple threat. He did not show up at the signing, so I think triple threat is just kind of like out of the question. Maybe Chad Gable will be in Sami Zayn's corner in a sense. I don't really know. If WrestleMania 41 is in Minneapolis, Chad Gable has a story with Sami Zayn. Chad Gable has a better story with Gunther. So either way, it's a win-win. Next up, we have the triple threat for the United States Championship. We have Kevin Owens, we have Randy Orton, and our United States American freaking hero, sponsor of WWE PLEs, we have Logan freaking Paul, man. Now, I know I get a lot of hate because I stand for Logan Paul, but I stand for Logan Paul as a wrestler. I think a lot of people think that this match is predictable. I think a lot of people think that Randy Orton is going to be the next United States champion. I don't think so. I think Logan Paul is going to retain this, because what better way to continue to elevate Logan Paul, just as Logan Paul has been elevating the United States title, and you can't say he hasn't. He's the only star that has ever really taken it to social media and made several viral clips based off WWE. This man does podcasts every week where he talks about WWE. He's a social media sensation. You rarely see a post that's not about WWE or Prime Hydration, which now Prime Hydration is related to the WWE, as Prime Energy is WWE's first ever mat sponsor. Logan Paul is really good for the WWE, and I think he deserves a longer title reign. And what better way to lose the United States title at SummerSlam in Cleveland, Ohio, in his hometown, where you know he's not going to get cheered. This man is going to get booed. He's going to get booed regardless because he is Logan Paul. Next up, we have the Women's World Championship match between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. A lot of people thought that it might have been turned into a triple threat with Liv Morgan or a fatal four-way with Liv and Nia Jax. I think they should just stick to Rhea versus Becky. This is the match that should happen. I also think that Becky Lynch is going to give Rhea her best match of her entire career, because Becky Lynch is notorious for giving women their best matches of their career. We've seen it with Trish Stratus. We've seen it with Tiffany Stratton. We've seen it with Nia Jax. Rhea versus Becky is also a sleeper, and I think that's definitely going to be the better one of the women's matches that are on the card, just because they've been focusing on building this match way more than Bayley and Io, which we will get to momentarily. But I think Rhea should be retaining the title, and if Liv and Nia are not a part of the Mania card, I see one or both of them interfering during this match. And I kind of see like a sort of like a little plot twist here. If they both interfere in this match, I do see Liv and Nia Jax working together and sort of having like a short tag team run. I think Liv still needs a little more time to be built. I'm not saying that she's not there, but for me, I just think there's still something missing when it comes to Liv Morgan. We have the WWE Smackdown Women's Championship title. I really wanted Io and Bayley to main event night 1. I don't think that's happening at all anymore because they really haven't been focusing. They've been more so focusing on Damage Control versus Naomi versus Bianca. They've been focusing more on Dakota versus Bayley. Like, I don't know what they're doing with this. I was super excited for Bayley Mania, but it just seems like they're not giving Bayley as much attention as they are when it comes to Becky versus Mommy. They weren't even a part of the freaking WrestleMania press conference. Don't know what the fuck they're doing. I do see Bayley winning this. I don't know if Damage Control will interfere. Most likely, because that's what inevitably happens. It also depends on which members of Damage Control is going to interfere, because if Kabuki Warriors do go against Bianca and Naomi, if they add that match to the Mania card, then that means Dakota Kai can interfere. And maybe, just maybe, there's going to be like a double turn with Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai has been working with Bayley all along. I'm calling it right now. Dakota Kai will be doing a double turn, even though I do think that Bayley should pin Io clean if in the case where Kabuki Warriors do get involved in that match. I want Dakota Kai to do like a double turn. Who knows? It's just really unfortunate to me that they haven't been focusing on Bayley as much as I want them to, because like she has one of the most memorable SmackDown women title reigns of all time, and it's just so freaking unfortunate that I think Dakota Kai gets more airtime than Io and Bayley. Next up, we have the World Heavyweight Championship between Drew McIntyre and Seth freaking Rollins. Drew McIntyre has been having a wonderful heel run. One of the greatest heel runs since Christian Cage. Our father did lose his TNT championship this past Dynamite. So it was a hell of a run. But I haven't seen something this great. Especially, I love when wrestlers take it to social media and they're menaces. I like the fact that Drew is focusing on Seth Rollins when he's on TV, but outside of TV, this man is still focusing on CM Punk, and I love that. He has 2 ops, and we know who his ops are. We don't question who Drew doesn't fuck with. I love everything that Drew is doing. And I hate that we have this like looming fear of El Señor, Mr. Money in the Bank cashing in. Drew needs to win this title, man. Like, I don't want Seth to win only for Damian Priest to cash in, and I don't want Drew McIntyre to win just for Damian Priest to cash in. I don't know what Damian Priest is going to do, and I hate that there's that question still. Like, I feel like a cash in should have just happened all freaking ready. What I do want to happen is Drew McIntyre be the new World Heavyweight Champion, because we're talking about Drew McIntyre. This man has been taking us on a wild freaking ride, and I want to see more of this. I don't see Damon cashing in on Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. So what the fuck are they doing with that? I'm starting to think that Damian Priest is going to be the first ever to like not have a cash in. Next up, we have the tag team match. Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins versus Dwayne Heel, Rock, and Roman Reigns. Now this one, I'm gonna put my money on Heel, Rock, and Roman Reigns, because if Roman Reigns and The Rock win, they can have the bloodline. They can have a bloodbath. But if Cody and Seth win, then the bloodline does not interfere during the main event of Roman versus Cody. Who the fuck wants that? Respectfully, I think we do want that. But also disrespectfully. Just because of what, like, everything that they can do. Like, we don't know if Rikishi is going to be a part of Jay versus Jimmy. We don't know what other bloodline member will be out there. I do know that Jacob Fatu and Zilla, they do have a match. I believe it's the Night 1 Mania, but I also know that they are scheduled after Mania. They're scheduled for a PCW Ultra show, and they are scheduled for a GCW show. I don't know if that means anything. Maybe they could still appear. Maybe they could still make an appearance, because Shayna Baszler is having a match at Bloodsport. So maybe they could still show up. I don't know, man. I've always been an advocate for Jacob Fatu, and I need Jacob Fatu and Zilla in the WWE as soon as possible, please. I just want chaos. I just want bloody freaking chaos. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. We'll be reading what I said during my last prediction video of Cody versus Roman Roman Reigns. And if you do want to watch that, I am going to post the link underneath in the description. If you do want to go take a look at that. I made this video 2 months ago, by the way. I said The Rock is going to be turning on Roman. I also said that Seth is turning on Cody. I said Stone Cold is showing up to stunner a couple of these jabronis. I also predicted that Jay and Seth would be in Cody's corner, and Roman obviously has the bloodline in their corner. I will say, based off those predictions, I don't want Seth to turn on Cody anymore, because I feel like I was like one of the pioneers of that, of thinking that Seth was gonna turn on Cody, and now everybody thinks that, and now, you know what, that's the ugly side of me being a wrestling fan. Now I don't want it to happen. Now I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. Do I think Stone Cold is showing up anymore? I don't see the relevancy anymore. I haven't seen them tease it, but if he does show up, hell yeah, man. Let's see this man thunder a couple of freaking jabronis. Dwayne turning on Roman Reigns, I feel like that's the most obvious thing to do, and I don't know, man. Triple H said that this is going to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. So I think there's so much that could happen during this match that I'm just excited. And the thing that I'm more so excited about, because of this past Friday night Smackdown, because of the segment between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, I am actually the minority. Now, I do want Cody to finish his story. I do think he's still going to finish his story. But if in the event where Roman Reigns wins, I will be okay with that. I wasn't okay with this 2 weeks ago. I thought for sure Cody Rhodes is going to finish his story, and it just makes sense. And if Roman Reigns retains, like, what the fuck are they doing? But now I'm just kind of like, this has been a wild ride with Roman Reigns. Like, this has been a wild freaking ride. And I'm like, are we ready for it to be over? I know a lot of you guys are probably yelling, yes, yes, like, let's end this. But, like, really think about it. Really think about it. Who are we going to acknowledge after this? When Roman shows up, you feel the presence. It was a hell of a ride, and if Roman Reigns retains, I will be okay with it. But I do want Cody Rhodes. Ultimately, I do want Cody Rhodes to finish his story. I do think he's going to finish his story, because there's really no coming back if he loses twice. At that point, what the fuck are we doing? I see this match being a 30-minute match of betrayal, storytelling, and finishing a story. Oh, I also do see Dustin Rhodes being a part of this, because Dustin Rhodes did respond to Rock on Twitter, I believe. I forgot what he said. I really forgot what he said. Dustin Rhodes, I see him being in Cody's corner. Will they introduce a woman into the bloodline? Who knows? Because Brandy Rhodes could easily get in the mix as well. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you do like and hit that subscribe button. I am on the road to 10K subscribers on YouTube, and go follow my Instagram. I am on the road to 50,000 followers by WrestleMania 40. Make sure you let me know if you agree with my predictions. If you think I'm batshit crazy for some of my predictions, make sure you do let me know down in the comments. Until next time.